What's good, YouTube? It's your boy DJ LiftOFF, and you don't want to miss this flight. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all a few different ways that you can make large BPM transitions. So if you're going from a high BPM to a slow BPM or vice versa, I'm going to give you a few different ways that you can do this flawlessly. So without further ado, let's hop right into it.
I got five, you know so live. Tell me when to go, baby, when we gon' slide, baby, when we gon' slide. Hey, up all night, baby, when we gon' slide. Hey, up all night, baby, when we gon' slide, 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 slide. Hey, up all night, baby, when we gon' slide. Hey, up all night, baby, when we gon' slide. Hey. Up all night, baby, we gon' slide. Up all night,
All right, DJs, let's break down this first transition type first. This is definitely going to be for your intermediate DJ. So if you're a beginner, I definitely recommend you still try using this. So the first thing that you can see is that we are using sync. So definitely go ahead and make sure that you have both of your tracks loaded up and make sure you have sync enabled. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that your beats are actually set to 1 or to 2. You can definitely just play around with it, be as creative as possible. So essentially the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna have your track playing. You're gonna wanna take out or use stems to get rid of the entire instrumental and just have the vocals left. So this is exactly what we start with. 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So as you can see there on those last 4 beats, on the 3, so 4 and 2 and 3, that's when I went ahead and hit this button here to get rid of my instrumental. Again, you could play around with this. You could do it on the 1, you could do it on the 3, whatever makes sense for your BPM and the particular song that you're using. For me, again, 4 and 2 and 3, I went ahead and hit that, and then now I just have my vocal. So when your vocal actually gets to the 1, so 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, when you get to that 1, you're going to want to make sure again that you have sync enabled. I have the song that I'm actually going to be transitioning into over here. What I have is on this last cue, I have my auto loop set to this particular button. So I went ahead and made sure that I had whatever beat I wanted to be on. So in this instance, we have 8. So you can actually use the 4-beat loop, or you can use whatever you have your auto loop set to. Again, I just have mine set to this cue point because I always find that that's easiest for me. So once you get to that 1, all you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start your other track. So what I like to do is I actually just go ahead and hit this button, and then I hit the play button because I just find that's easiest for me. So I hit the cue, hold on to the cue, and then hit play. At the same time that you're doing this, you're also going to want to hit that auto loop. So to do that at the same time, it looks just like this.
Tell me when to go, baby, when we gon' slide, baby, when we gon' slide.
So now once you get to that particular part, all you have to do is literally just slowly pull up that fader, your tempo fader, slowly until you reach the designated BPM of your other song. Now with the scratching out, as you can see, I just scratched out at some point. I also played around with the beats. So definitely, again, be as creative as you would like here. You could also just like increase your reverb, and you could just slowly fade out the vocal. Pretty much do whatever you want over there. But the main part of this is you want to start the track, you want to start the loop at the same time, slowly increase, make sure it's really gradual. You want the speed up to be really gradual so you barely can even hear it. Slowly speed it up. Once you get to your designated BPM, go ahead and do whatever transition out that you would like. So here's an example of me just doing a reverb out.
We gon' slide, hey. Up all night, baby, we gon' slide, hey. Up all night, baby, we gon' slide.
So as you can see there, just did a quick reverb out. Again, do whatever you like. Now let's go ahead and hop into transition number 2.
Dominicano, colombiano,
Boricua,
morena,
Boricua,
morena,
Boricua,
morena,
Boricua. Everybody knows this.
All right, DJ, so there is transition number 2. We're actually going to be using a transition track, and this is going to allow us to seamlessly transition from that 95 all the way up to 125 without having to do too much. Now, I like to get all of my transition tracks from BPM Supreme. Now, if you scroll through BPM's extensive catalog and just search transition, you can see that there's tons of different transition tracks that you can use to go from slow to high BPMs and vice versa. So on top of those edits within various genres, you also have really great playlists and curated sets as well. Now, one last thing I really like about BPM Supreme is just the ease of the user interface. Everything is easily playable, easily downloadable, whether it's the clean, dirty version, intro track, extended intro. Everything can be easily played, listened to, downloaded straight to your download folder in an instant. So if you're looking to get those transition tracks as well as edits, maybe look at some different sets, definitely use my code DJLiftoff25 to save 25% on your first month. So for me personally, I like to set my track 4 bars before the actual vocal comes in, or before the actual drop pretty much of the transition track. Now, definitely make sure that you listen to the transition track a couple times to notice exactly where the track speeds up, because you don't want to have your song on the other deck still playing when the other song starts speeding up, because that's obviously going to be out of phase, and then it'll be very audible. Like, people will be able to hear that they're definitely out of sync. So make sure that you start transitioning that song all the way out and increasing that reverb so you're out before the other track starts automatically speeding up. Now let's move on to transition number 3.
Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend, I'm the one. Why do I feel like the only one? Why do I feel like you owe me one? CCOD, I'm the holy one. Yeah, you know what's up. Yeah. They've been up for a minute now. You know they all sentimental now. You know they all acting different now.
If you can't hold it, life is but a dream that you manifest it slowly. So fuck a fantasy, this your motherfucking.
All right, DJs, there's transition number 3. Now for this transition, obviously a lot less complicated than your first one. However, you want to make sure that you're still doing this properly. So I would definitely say that you can't use this particular transition with any types of song. What I find works best is, if you look over here, the song that I actually transitioned into, it has like a long intro and it's kind of slow and there's not too much going on. So you definitely want to use a track where there's not too much instrumentation going on. So like, you don't want anything with tons of drums and tons of claps. Again, this is like really smooth as it comes in. Like, this entire thing is pretty smooth. So you want to use something that's smooth like that. However, you can definitely experiment with different tracks where things do have more going on. This is just my recommendation. So the most important thing about this particular transition is you want to set a cue point exactly where you want the track to be, near full volume or exactly at full volume. So basically where you're going to be dropping the track. So I have that set right here. So when I'm looking in Serato, I can obviously see that I have this at 26 seconds. So after you have that cue point set, you want to be cognizant of what that time is. So for me, I know it's at 26 seconds. So when I have this track playing over here, all I want to be pretty much looking at in Serato is that 26-second mark. So when I start this track over here, I can obviously see that more and more time is elapsing slowly. You want to slowly start increasing your reverb on the track that you're transitioning out of. And if you do have a vocal on this track, definitely at some point, I would say like midway. So if this is at 26 seconds, maybe around 13 seconds, or just wherever makes sense, you might want to actually get rid of whatever that vocal is on the track that you're transitioning out of, because sometimes vocals make the two songs clash a little bit more. So definitely go ahead and at some point get that vocal out of there. Then all you want to do is you want to slowly just increase the reverb on the track that you're transitioning out of. Slowly increase that reverb. At the same time you're increasing that reverb, you want to actually just be slowly pulling down your fader at the same time that you're increasing that reverb. So I like to get mine anywhere near 50%. Sometimes I go beyond it, kind of depends on the song. But again, you're just slowly increasing that reverb. You're slowly pulling down on your volume fader. At the same time, you're just slowly moving up on the other track. Obviously, once you get close to that 26, you want to obviously be continually watching. Once you get to that 26, you want to, again, like I said, either be near the top at full volume or really close, and your other track should be almost faded out and your reverb should be pretty high. So you're using the reverb to kind of mask the other track coming in. The more reverb, the better. Obviously, don't go like straight to 100% immediately, but just slowly raise it up, raise it up, raise it up. The reverb will mask the other song coming in. Again, that's why you don't want to use a song that has too much going on, something that's a little bit more smooth. And then you just, again, once you get to that 26 seconds, in my case, you want to drop it at full volume. All right, DJs, so there are the 3 different ways that you can make large BPM transitions between 2 different tracks. If you enjoyed this video, please press that like button, press the subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you know the next time that I upload a video. Appreciate you for being here. LiftOFF is about it.